If you can control your emotions and not let them be manipulated against you,
It's
right?
mandatory, yeah.
If you can control your emotions, you actually have the luxury of offering compassion because, sometimes things happen. Maybe you had an employee once who showed up and, like maybe you see that he or she's distraught or something happened and you call them in your office and you say, hey, what happened? And they go, oh, maybe this happened. Maybe I had a death in the family. I had an accident. I had this. You say, okay, look, go home. Here's a taxi. Here's, $200. Go have some lunch. Let me know what happens. You go, oh, I got this medical bill. I don't know how to pay that. I have this, I have that. I'm afraid this is going to get. You just go. You cover the medical bill. That's compassion, and that is not compassion that's based on feelings in the sense of you sit there and you gush with them and you cry with them. You respect their privacy. You respect that you are their boss. You're not their friend. You're not their relative. You're not their therapist, and you simply remove the source of pain for them. And having that clarity of mind and having the little bit of distance between yourself and your employees allows you to do that. In a similar way, if you look at any type of monarchy, right, the monarch is unapproachable, and people often believe it's so that they can be as snobby and annoying as possible, but it is there so that you understand the significance of that influence and power, and so that they can actually grant these very significant mercies as they do, or favors, or whatever, something that can truly manifest that compassion. So as you go up in business levels, as you go up in your company, you actually have a much higher responsibility without the luxury of feelings, but with a greater luxury of understanding of humans and then taking care of them. It has a different meaning. It is not about giving them weekly massages, right? It's maybe giving them the ability to have that type of support when nobody else will help them because you've been preserving those resources. That make sense, Adam?
It does. Let me ask you this question. Do you want your employees to be securely attached to you as their boss? What's your perspective?
What does secure attachment and employment even look like?
Secure attachment and employment. So it's not being able to take you for granted, because that's not what secure attachment is. It's not, I'm just going to use you and have fun at your expense. That is the opposite of secure attachment. Secure attachment means I trust your principles. I trust your goals. I trust that you will discipline me when necessary, but not more than necessary. I trust you not to be a complete pathetic doormat to everybody, because then I can't trust you and I'm not safe. But I also trust you not to be a tyrant in this direction. I trust you to be in this narrow channel, that to be the real leader that we need, and to be consistent with me so that I know you will deal with me with justice according to the law that you have written down. That would be the upward looking secure attachment, almost from a child to a parent figure, if you want to think of it that way.
Out of 356 employees, how many could go up to you and even say they have had more than, say, a half an hour conversation with you?
6.
So what happened, and how do you build secure attachment with 349 or 350 people you've never met?
I'm not asking him to build a connection personally with 350 people, but of those 6, how many of them do you think were more securely attached to you, where they trusted you to be consistent, just, and
Every
fair?
single one would trust me with their life. No questions
There we go.
asked. And it was always the clear understanding, look, you want to call me on off hours to shoot the shit? Let's shoot the shit. But if it's work related and you truly can't solve the problem, then you call me. But I'm paying you for X. Figure it the fuck out. Because if I'm going to go downstairs and figure it out for you, why the hell am I keeping you?
And that is also secure attachment. That's the boundary of a relationship. That's the rule. It cannot mean that you collapse into them at a moment's notice and that they own you. Your kid can't come to you and absolutely demand that you cater to them 100% and you let everything else burn over here for their feelings. That's also not a secure connection. So
Tell a
absolutely.
toddler that.
Yeah, I have. I got 5 kids. There's times where you have to say, pause. Right now, I'm going to teach you self-discipline and I will come back for you. I need this time right here, and you let them breathe and you teach them that. You teach them how to really regulate self in that moment. There's times where they can't, and it's an emergency, and this is more important, but that's how you teach them. And as an adult, they need to have that. I wouldn't hire someone that's not fully secure going to be able to connect to me either. I don't hire people with personality disorders for my company. I can't, because they will take advantage of you. They will eat you if they can. But it sounds like those employees had secure attachment to you. especially because they knew those rules. They knew what your rule was. Your law was very clear. Do not do this during these times, but I will care for you at these times to this extent. Here is my law. Follow it, and I will care for you.
Yeah. One person I still talk to this day, she's like, I don't bother you before 11 still. Because I'd be at work at 8:30, but the lights are on, but no one's home. And I'm just going, like, I don't do caffeine first thing in the morning, so I'm like trying to wake up, trying to just sort through my emails, go through everything. And everybody knew, don't you dare knock on my door before 11 or call or text. And it worked that way. Mm-hmm. And they understood, like, I walk in the morning, I didn't even say hi to anyone. I literally beelined it to my office and locked myself behind 2 doors. Mm-hmm. And you'd have to actually get buzzed through 2 doors to get to me.
And I have the same rule with my own children, right? If daddy comes home from a trip or from a meeting or whatever it is, no drama until dad has peed and washed his face and like cleaned up a little. Do not hit me with drama in the first 3 seconds when I open that door. And they know that rule. So they'll come in, they'll go, Dad, I have something to tell you, but I'll wait. And I say, okay, you know what? Give me 5 minutes. Go do my thing for 5 minutes, come back. All right, buddy, sit down and talk to me about this. What's going on? Same thing. That is secure attachment. Okay. Secure attachment must have boundaries. If you have no boundaries, you are not just a poor leader. You are massively insecure and you're collapsing in other people.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.